Cool. And Bethany and Steve, you're here to tell us about the Movie Parody Network, which I attended the launch party the other night, and I was surprised to see the number of people that you guys had out there. I mean, you've got a really big fan base and support base. So at the time, I decided I needed to get you in here and tell me how this whole idea came about. So how'd you come up with it, Steve?
Well, it's, you know, it was really a long process as far as coming up with this, because working in the commercial business and in the industrial world of video, you're given no opportunity for creativity. And so, you know, I had to meet that sort of thing. My wife and I collect vintage clothing, antiques. Our studio space is kind of decorated in an Art Deco style because we just like all of that old stuff. And it was just kind of a natural fit to, and well, I'm going to back up even further. And I love the old movies. And so I am a snarky personality where I comment on everything, and to the annoyance of everybody around. And so this idea of taking old movies and kind of turning them on their ear and using what we've got just was an easy way to do movies, video, and satisfy my need for creativity.
Right. But now the difficulty is you've got this great idea, and how are you going to get other people involved? So how did you go out and find people like Bethany who are willing to put themselves on camera for your project?
Well, and again, you know, I'm in the same position. Yes, stalker. That's pretty close. I'm in the same position as everyone who makes a low budget, no budget kind of movie. You know, you put it out there and just see who bites. And you know, and because we have this style, it's not a horror film, it's not you know, kind of the vampire, whatever is in vogue right now. It's really a throwback to a stylized performance and that sort of thing. Kind of takes a special person, and so people that were really interested in that, you know, kind of caught on to it, and I guess that's what happened with you.
I can't even remember how I found out about your audition. I saw some audition notice and drove out to Allen thinking, I'm going to be killed. I'm going out here to the woods. And I actually called him and said, okay, I'm at your house, but you're not going to kill me, right? I really did call him because I figured if he was, that he would be honest and say, yeah, I did plan on killing you. But he didn't.
So Bethany, are you an actress by prior inclination?
Yes, I have been doing theater since I was 5 years old, and actually grew up watching these old movies with my dad. He was a big film noir buff. So I think the fact that I went into the audition and knew who Peter Lorre was really helped kind of clinch it that I would be in the cast, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, you really had the style of that era, and you had the ability to do other characters, which was what this is about.
Now, tell me about behind the scenes. Who's writing the scripts? Who's doing the directing and that sort of thing?
Oh, it's like everything I do. It's a one-man band. You know, so many times, and when you see it at this level, you see the same person wearing all the hats. You know, and so I'm not in front of the camera, but everything else behind it, yeah, it's kind of falls to me.
All right. Any significance to the fact that you're doing the Maltese takeoff first? Is that like one of your favorite?
There is, and we all decided on this, that that's probably the most recognizable one of the ones we have shot so far. And we're thinking, you know, we'll start with that one, and maybe people have seen it, and then they'll kind of get the idea. It's not really necessary that you know these old movies to enjoy them, but you do kind of see where they come from, and maybe you'll hear some lines that you recognize, and you'll hear them as done in the tongue-in-cheek mode that we're using.
Mm-hmm. I love the fact that you're doing it in black and white too. I mean, it wouldn't work, really, would it, if it wasn't black and white?
No, no. That was our intention all along.
I think it's a good dynamic too between the behind-the-scenes stuff that's the actual actors working behind the scenes, that being in color, versus the film. So it kind of hopefully helps the audience keep it straight.
Yeah.
So your fictional Berhetto Brothers studio is a real seat of the pants operation. Does that bear any resemblance to your actual working conditions?
Wow, it's amazing that you drew that parallel, but yes, it really is kind of that way. You know, those are the guys that I can identify with because they're just trying to get by. You know, they're trying to find that niche. They're trying to do it by the seat of their pants. They don't have a budget, you know, and And maybe in some ways they're kind of like me. They're feeling their way along in the dark, trying to try a little of this and that and see what works.
Mm-hmm. I love the trailer going into each segment of the guy mowing the lawn in front of the studio. Lightning strikes and it's flustered for a moment, and then he just keeps on mowing.
Yeah,
It's great.
we've got I've got some guys now. When I say that I do all the writing and directing, producing, I do have some video guys that help me. And one of our guys, Dave Francina, was the one that developed that little clip. And you know, and I do have some talented guys behind me that help with the lighting and the taping.
Mm-hmm. And I like the Steadicam mount in the Crusader scene where you're getting the view of the Crusaders as they're charging and the pirates.
Yeah, it's just a comical look whenever you attach a camera to somebody's face, basically, and just watch what they're doing for a while.
Yeah. Where was that Crusader pirate scene filmed?
Well, we shoot everything in our yard or in the studio where I work, because we don't have time to go on location. I mean, we've got a day and a half to shoot one entire movie, I guess you might say. And so we keep moving.
Yeah. So that's in Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in our backyard.
Cool. So I see there are a bunch of other coming attractions in the pipeline, and they're all noir, and that seems to be your theme, classic noir. Any thought of, when you're done with that, going off into a different genre?
We've talked about it. Right now, this is what we have, and we've got probably a lot of movies that we can still do before we exhaust that genre. But we've talked about doing maybe 50 sci-fi or something, because that's why I named it Network, as opposed to movie parody noir or something like that. So that way, if we decide to keep doing this, we'll be able to branch out to other genres.
That's great. It's out there, living on the website. People can stream episodes every 2 weeks. You post a new one, right?
Correct. Yes.
And what's the business model? Is there one? And are you going to find a way to put it on other media like DVD at some point?
Well, again, like the Burhetto brothers, we're kind of feeling our way along in the dark. We don't really have someone that's come along and said, here's how you do it. This is real new to me, and what I'm finding out is it's very new to a lot of people, and so we don't have that business model nailed down. We're asking people everywhere we meet, and how they do it, and what should we do. Obviously, we'll release it at some point, on DVD, but I think at this point, we're trying to stay on the web, put out the free video and see what we can monetize from the site.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see a collection jar at the launch party the other night, so that was out. Do you have financial backers behind what's been going on so far?
Well, like the Burhetto brothers, we are it, so, but I don't know, I haven't been on other people's shoots, and Bethany can tell you more, but she's been on others. But it seems like we're getting a lot on camera for as little money as we're spending, because we have everything. We don't have to go anywhere, so we're using our time efficiently. We're using our resources efficiently, and we don't need many resources to make stuff happen that we're doing right now. So that's kind of nice. So yeah, it's all self-financed right now.
And the fact that Steve is so organized, I mean, our schedules for those weekends that we shoot are down to the minute. We're doing this scene, it's going to take from this long to this long. While you go and change, we change the set, and it is a tight ship.
Wow, that helps.
We get it done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a lot of time for tomfoolery.
And then the actors are paid in fruit cups at the concession at the
Exactly.
canteen.
How's that working out for you, by the way?
I'm a little hungry. It's okay.
Well, Bethany and Steve, what else would you like to tell us about what's going on at the Movie Parody Network?
We have such a good time, and we have such a love for the subject matter and for the time period, and despite all of the hilarity that goes on and the tongue-in-cheek nature of the films, we really do love that era, and we have such a good time. We've become such a wonderful little family, and I think that comes through to the audience just how much we love it and love each other and have such a good time and just really enjoy it. Can't wait for season 2 to start.
Yes. And we're trying to find other like-minded people to become fans, because we know that, as we put the word out, we're finding people that know the films, and maybe grew up with them or are revisiting them again now, and we want those people to come back and see what we did with them.
Any weird things happen during filming at any point?
Well, that statue's still at the bottom of your lake, isn't it?
Yes.
The statue, the Maltese.
Well, in our first episode, when you see the pirates and the knights fighting, we did lose one of our props in the bottom of our pond, but that was a day that, and you may not be able to tell, but it's raining at the end of that shoot, and we had to come back almost 2.5 months later to finish the thing, and everything's green, so they don't really match, and we don't have the same people in the same costumes, but we're not going to tell anyone, right?